Good morning to all. Welcome to Enunciate Academy. Good morning, Nagarjuna. Good morning, Hariga, Radhika, and Sumrata Thanish. Okay. So today our session is polymers. Okay. At last class we discussed about list of alloys. Okay. Today we will discuss about polymers. What is polymer? Polymer is a class of natural or a synthetic substance, okay, composed of a very large molecules called macromolecules. If the polymer form a singular molecule, okay, same type of molecule, that type of polymers called as a monomers, okay, because of they formed only single molecule items, only similar molecule items. So polymers are formed with multiple molecules. Okay. So the first polymer, this is one type of polymer. It formed number of molecules. It formed with a number of different natural or a synthetic substances. Okay. So polyethylene is one of the polymer. Polyethylene is one of the polymer. What is the uses of polyethylene? Okay. So it used in a packaging. Packaging means manufacturing of bags, manufacturing of bottles, and construction industry and insulation. Okay. So polymer is one of the, okay, formed with a number of synthetic or a natural substances. So polyethylene is one of the polymer. Okay. What is the use of polyethylene? The use of polyethylene used in a manufacturing of a packaging bags and bottles, and used in the construction industry, and used as a insulation. Used as a insulation. Okay. And the second polymer is, do you understand what is polymer? Good morning, Radhika. Good morning, Tanish. Our plastic pipe is one of the polymer. Okay. And the next one is polypropylene. Polypropylene is one of the second polymer. This polypropylene used in a packaging. What is packaging means? Here, manufacturing of a containers and caps. Okay. And polypropylene used in a textile industry also. Textile industry means cloth manufacturing. Okay. Textile industry means cloth manufacturing industry. So polypropylene also used in a textile industry and automotive parts. Okay, manufacturing of automotive parts. Okay, and ending polymer is polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. So if this polyvinyl chloride is one of the polymer used in a manufacturing of a pipes. Manufacturing of a pipes and window frames and flooring and medical tubing. Okay, do you understand? So in our home there is a number of pipes. Okay, so that type of pipes manufactured with this polyvinyl chloride polymer. Okay, that pipes are manufactured with polyvinyl chloride. So this polyvinyl chloride is we call as a polymer. We call as a polymer. Okay, so used in a manufacturing of pipes and window frames and flooring and medical tubing. Okay, and another one is polystyrene. Okay, polystyrene. Polystyrene is one of the polymer and it is used in a packaging. Packaging means foam cups and containers. Manufacturing of a foam cups and containers, and it is used as a insulation. It is used as a insulation. And another one is polythene and tetrapactylate. Okay, polythene and tetrapactylate, simply we called as the PET. PET means polythene polythene terephthalate. Okay, so this is one of the polymer used in a manufacturing of bottles. Okay, these bottles for a beverages and food parcel products. And another one is polyurethane. Polyurethane used in a foam insulation and a furniture and advisors and coating. Okay, it is polyurethane is one of the polymer used in a foam insulation manufacturing and a furniture and a adhesives and coatings. And another one is PVDF. PVDF means polyvinyl iodine fluoride. Okay, polyvinyl iodine fluoride. This polyvinyl iodine fluoride used in a coatings and chemical processing and wiring insulation. Okay, this polyvinyl iodine fluoride is one of the polymer used in a coatings. Okay, used in a manufacturing of coatings and chemical processing and a wiring insulation. And another one is polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, polytetrafluoroethylene. So simply we call as a PTFE. Simply we call as a PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene. This is one of the polymer. This polymer used in a non-stick coating. Okay, non-stick dishes, manufacturing of a non-stick coating and medical implements and used in a medical industry also. And another one is polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is one of the polymer. This polycarbonate used in a eyeglass lenses. Okay, manufacturing of eyeglass lenses and CDs and DVDs and safety glasses. Do you understand? So polycarbonate used in a manufacturing of eyeglasses. Okay, eyeglass lenses and manufacturing of CDs and manufacturing of DVDs and safety glasses. Okay, so this is one type of a polycarbonate glass. This is one type of a polycarbonate glass. And another one is polyethylene glycol. Polyethylene glycol is one of the polymer. This type of polymer used in a pharmaceuticals. Okay, pharmaceuticals means medical industry and a personal care products. Okay, manufacturing of a personal care products and a lubricants. Do you understand? So polyethylene glycol used in a medical industry and personal care product. For example, creams. Okay, our face creams and used as a lubricants manufacturing. Do you understand? So these are the important polymers and their uses. Do you understand until now? Please raise your hands. Nagarjuna, Harika, Radhika, Tanish. Very good, Radhika. Remaining. Very good, Harika. And another one is conductor of electricity. Okay, conductor. What are conductors? And the first column refers to characteristic of that conductor, and the second column refers to good conductors of electricity. What are the good conductors used in electricity? And another one is refers to this column bad conductors of electricity. That bad conductors also known as a insulators. Okay, bad conductors also called as a insulator. This book one of the insulator, this pen one of the insulator, okay, and table one of the insulator. Okay, what are the conductors? Copper, gold, silver, iron, human body. These are the conductors. Okay, so book, pen and wood, these are the insulators. Okay, let us discuss. The first one is electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. If you have a good conductor, it has a high electric conductivity. Okay, if you have a good conductor and it has a high electrical conductivity. If you have the insulator, it has a very low conductivity. Okay, If you have a insulator, it has a, what is the quality of insulator? It has a very low conductivity. Okay, it offers the passing of electricity through on it. Okay, another quality is valence electrons. Valence electrons means the good conductor has a 1 to 3 valence electrons. Okay, the good conductor has a 1 to 3 valence electrons. If the bad conductor have a 5 to 8 valence electrons. Okay, so the good conductor have a 1 to 3 valence electrons and the bad conductor have a 5 to 8 valence electrons. Okay, and another quality is band stretcher. Okay, the band stretcher of good conductor have a partially filled energy bands and allowing easy electrons flow. Okay, so band stretcher, the good conductor have a partially filled energy bands, not fully filled energy bands. It has a partially filled energy bands. That's why allowing easy electrons flow. That's why it allowing the easy electron flow. That's why it has a high conductivity. If you have a insulator, it have a fully occupied valence bands. Okay, it have a fully occupied valence bands and no free electrons. Okay, and the next one is examples of conductors: copper, silver, gold, aluminum. These are the best examples of conductors. Please remember or write down. Okay, what are the good conductors? Copper and silver and gold and aluminum. These are the good conductors. These are the elements allow the electricity passing on it. But what are the insulators? Glass, rubber, wood, plastic. Okay, these are the insulator. It has a fully occupied valency bands. It have a 5 to 8 valence electrons. Okay, it have a very low electric conductivity. So these are the insulators. What are the insulators? Glass, rubber, wood, plastic. Okay, this point is very important. And another quality is temperature dependence. Temperature dependence. If you give a high temperature, okay, the conductors, what are the conductors? The conductivity is increased. If you give a high temperature, the conductivity is very increased in conductors. If you give a high temperature, that very low conductivity in a insulator. Do you understand? Increasing a temperature usually increases the conductivity in good conductors. Okay, and conductivity remains very low with temperature changes. If you change in temperature, the conductivity remain very low in insulators. If you change the temperature, the conductivity is very high in a conductors. And the last one is usage. Okay, used in a electrical wire. Used in a, this conductors used in a manufacturing of a electric wiring and circuits and electronics. Just a minute. Electronics. Okay, these are the conductors: copper, silver, gold, aluminum. These are the conductors. These are the conductors used in manufacturing of electrical wiring. Do you understand, children? What are the uses of these conductors? Copper, silver, gold, aluminum. These are the elements used in a electrical wiring manufacturing and manufacturing of circuits and used as a electronics. Okay, and the insulators: glass, rubber, wood, plastic. The user of the glass, rubber, wood, plastic used in a insulate electrical component and prevent electrical flow. Okay, these are the used in a insulator component in a electricity. Okay, and another quality is density of a charge carriers. Okay, what is the density of charge carriers in conductors? The density of a charge carriers in conductors have a high density of free electrons or a ions. Okay, the conductors have a high density free electrons, high density free ions, but the insulators have a very low density free electrons and very low density free ions. Do you understand? The density of your charge carriers is one of the quality. If you see in a conductor, the conductors have a very high density of your free electrons and ions. That's why it have a conductor. Okay, it used as a conductor. But the insulator have a very low density of your free electrons or a free ions. Okay, that's why we used as a insulator. Okay, and enter quality is melting and boiling point. If you see a melting point of conductor, it often have a lower melting point and lower boiling point compared to the insulators. Okay, these means iron, copper, gold, aluminium, nickel. These are the conductors have a very low melting point, very low boiling point at a very low temperature. Okay, these are the conductors melting or a boiling at very low temperature. These are the conductors melting or boiling compared to the insulators. But the insulators have a high melting point and boiling point. If you wanted to melting the insulators, you give lot of temperature comparing to the conductor. Okay, if you wanted to melting the insulators, for example rubber, you give a lot of temperature for that melting or a boiling of the rubber compared to these conductors. Do you understand? Please raise your hand. Very good. These are the concept 8th class, 9th class, 10th class concepts. Okay, don't worry. And another quality is conductivity change with impurities. Okay, conductivity change with impurities. Okay, if the conductor's impurities can affect conductivity. Okay, if the conductors have impurities, if your conductor have impurities, if for example this is the gold ornament, it has a copper also. Okay, my earring has a gold ornament, but it is not pure gold. It is not a pure gold. It has a impurity. What is the impurity? Copper is the impurity in my earring. Okay, so if the conductor have a impurities, the conductivity is very low. Okay, if the conductor has a number of impurities in it, it have a very low conductivity. Behave as a low conductor. Okay, and if you see in a insulator, the impurities do not significantly alter their insulating properties. Okay, if the insulator have any impurity, the impurities not affect that insulating property. Okay, but the conductor have a insulator, but the conductor have a impurities. Okay, for example, here gold has a copper. Okay, this copper is the impurity in my earring. Okay, it is not a pure gold. It has some of the impurities. What is the impurities? Here in copper is the impurity. So this copper decrease the conductivity of this earring. Okay, but we see in the insulators the impurities not affect the insulating property. Okay, the impurities not affect the insulating property of this rubber, copper, book, okay, wood, plastic. These are the insulators. Do you understand, children? We learn about polymers. Okay, polymers are formed with a natural or a synthetic substances. Polymers formed with a natural or a synthetic substances that are called as a polymers. Okay, these are the polyethylene and polypropylene and polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polyethylene terephthalate and polyrethane and polyvinyl iodine fluoride and polytetrafluoroethylene and polycarbonate and polyethylene glycol. These are the polymers used in our daily life. manufacturing of your packaging, manufacturing of your bottles, manufacturing of your glasses, okay, manufacturing of your CDs, pipes, okay. These are the uses of polymers, okay. And the next thing is conductors of electricity, okay. These are the qualities: electricity, conductivity. The conductors have a high electricity conductivity, and the insulators have a bad electricity conductivity, okay. And valence electrons, the conductors have a 1 to 3 valence electrons, and the insulator have a 5 to 8 valence electrons, okay. And another one is band structure. If you see the band structure in conductivity, in the conductors filled partially filled. Partially filled means half filled energy bands. If the see in the insulators, these are the full filled valence bands. Okay, these are the partially filled valency bands, and these are the have a fully filled valency bands. That's why the no free electrons. That's why the insulator have a no free electrons. The conductors have a free electrons. Okay, the conductors have a free electrons. That's why they allow the conductivity. They allow the electricity passing on it. Okay, but the insulators oppose the electricity passing on it because of they have no balanced electrons. They have no balanced bands and they have no free electrons. Okay, and inequalities examples. The examples of conductors: copper, silver, gold, aluminium. Okay, our wiring system manufacturing with the copper. Our wiring system, our total wiring system manufacturing with copper. Why they used copper? Because of copper is good conductor. Okay, silver is also one of the good conductor, but silver is very cost than the copper. Gold is also one of the good conductor, but they don't, why they don't use it in a manufacturing of wires? Because of gold is very high quality, high price than the copper. That's why copper is very cheap and copper is used as a conductor. That's why in our homes the wires manufacturing with a copper. Copper is very good conductor. Okay, our human body is also very good conductor. Okay, the electricity pass on it. And the insulators are glass, rubber, wood, plastic, our book. Okay, and these are the dry cloth. Okay, dry cloth, and these are the insulators. They don't have free electrons and they don't allow. They oppose the electricity passing on it. Okay, those elements called as the insulators. Those are the bad conductors. Okay, and another one is temperature dependence. The conductors have a proportionally to temperature. The conductors have a proportional to temperature. Means if you increase the temperature, if you change the temperature, the conductivity increased or decreased. If the increase the temperature, the conductivity have a high conductivity. Do you understand? These are the proportionally relation. These are the proportionally relation. If you increase the temperature, if you give high temperature, the conductor have a high conductivity. Okay. If you decrease the temperature, the conductor have a low conductivity. So this is the proportionally relation, temperature and conductors. And the insulators, if you give a low temperature, if you give a high temperature, these are the very low conductivity. Insulators have a very low conductivity to change the temperature. And another one is uses. What is the uses of conductors? Conductors used in a manufacturing of wirings, manufacturing of a circuits, manufacturing of a electronic items. Okay, these conductors are used in a wiring system and circuits and manufacturing of a electronic items. And the insulators used in a electrical components of a prevent electric flow. Okay, these are the used in a insulators. And density charge. Okay, these are the high density of free electrons. These are the low density of free electrons. Melting point and boiling point is very low. and insulators have a melting and boiling point is very high compared to this conductors. Okay, and the last quality is impurities. Okay, impurities, if the conductors have a high impurities, their conductivity nature is decreased. If you pure gold is very high conductivity, but we we add with a copper or any insulator, those are the adding material is here impurity. So if you add that impurity, the gold have low conductivity. Okay, so that is the nature. If the conductors have impurities, the conductive nature is decreased. Okay, but in insulators, the conductivity is no effect. Okay, so this is the concept. Do you understand? Please raise your hands. If you have doubts, please raise your question in your chat box. Radhika, Nagarjuna and Tanish. No, Radhika. These are the concept asked for RMS, okay? Rashtriya Military Schools. Don't worry, okay? We repeat number of times in further sessions. Thank you to all children. Thank you. Have a nice day. Jai.